Absolutely.
Well, a very good morning, everybody, or good afternoon if you're here on the East Coast. We are excited about today. Mr. Andrew Lessman returns for his 21st anniversary visit. Andrew, 21 years later.
It's hard to believe. It's 21 years. Started 27 years ago at QVC, and 21 amazing years here. Although where I really wanted to go a few moments ago was to Wolfgang's set, because that food looked so good. I'm starving, and that food looked amazing.
Maybe you made a special anniversary cake. He is just the most amazing chef. And Andrew, talking of cooking up a storm today with one of your biggest hits of all time, CoQ10. It's funny because this Sunday morning, it really hit me about energy. Because those of us that don't have enough energy, whether it's age or stress, personal work life, if you don't have enough energy, it affects everything.
Well, energy, if you ask a scientist, the technical definition of energy is the ability to do work. Which really brings it home in terms of a human being, not just work, that thing we do say to go to our jobs, but anything and everything is work. We were talking about this last night, that we think about work in terms of these active processes, maybe, well, our heart beating, breathing, our kidneys, our liver, every cell in our body, every tissue organ in our body, it has to work or we suffer and we struggle. It pretty much defines the aging process, because those systems, those organs and tissues don't quite work as well as we get older. And that ability to do that work suffers, and as a result, we suffer, and that suffering is called the aging process. And I believe, and it's clear from the research, that part and parcel of that aging process is our inability to produce the energy for those systems and organs to do their work as efficiently, because the energy is what drives all that work, what potentiates all that work. And it's hard to believe, but every cell in our body is responsible for doing that work. That's why 33 years ago, actually it was 34 years ago, when I first stumbled across CoQ10. I was already familiar with it from its role in the body and all our cells in producing energy, but there was no one who made it available to put in a nutritional supplement. I searched and searched and searched, and I finally found a company 33 years ago, and it was 33 years ago that I brought CoQ10 to America. Wow. I don't believe there was any other company that was offering CoQ10 at that time. Certainly, even if you went back 20 years, there were very few companies talking about CoQ10 at all. So it's something that I've been intimately familiar with. I've been using for 33 years, and it's something that, for me, has transformed my life. If you read the reviews, it's transformed the lives of so many different individuals. And it's not a drug or a medicine. It just goes to the very core of existence, of what allows us to exist, because energy, the ability for each of the cells in our body to produce energy, and they must produce energy because, unlike how we might envision our world, we don't necessarily produce energy at our home. I was going to say at my factory, but we do. We produce all our energy at my factory, because my factory is all solar powered. But in reality, out in the world, energy is distributed. So energy is made at a power plant, it's distributed to homes, it's distributed to those who use it. In our body, there's no such thing as distributed energy. We distribute fuel, we distribute oxygen, but each cell is responsible for creating that energy independently. And that energy is created by moving electrons around. Believe it or not, what we experience as life is a result of moving electrons around on a cellular level. And in our body, CoQ10 is principally responsible for that movement of electrons. And you will not find a more comprehensive, a better reviewed, a more reviewed product in terms of CoQ10 than our CoQ10. It's a product that I introduced, as I said, 33 years ago, long before anyone else even contemplated CoQ10. And that's because I focused on the science. And because I focused on the science, I started a worldwide quest to find a company that produced this ingredient. And I found that company, and of all places, I found it in Japan. 33 years later, we still offer the finest, the most comprehensive, the most effective CoQ10 in the world.
If you'd like to feel the benefits of CoQ10 and you've watched Andrew for years and you know the quality, the purity, the effectiveness of all of the supplements that he manufactures, then this is the day for you. Special sizing and special pricing. I want to go through that for just a second because we're obviously used to wonderful savings, but these are through the roof, Andrew.
And I need to say, CoQ10 used to be our most expensive product. CoQ10 today is even more comprehensive because not only do you get in each capsule 200 milligrams of our CoQ10, you also get 300 milligrams of non-acidic vitamin C. You also get a full B complex, the most sophisticated B complex in the world, with our natural methyl B12, just like the B12 that is used in your body, unlike any other supplement in the world. It's orally absorbable. You don't need to get a shot to benefit from our B12. And you also, your choice, for free, because I didn't do a vitamin D today special, we're giving away the vitamin D for free today, 1,000 or 2,000 IU. So we are more comprehensive than ever, but most importantly, we're not a little less expensive than when I introduced CoQ10 33 years ago. We're less than 10% the price. So imagine if you could buy a car today for 10% of what you paid 33 years ago. I was just saying yesterday, that would mean my car would cost a little more than $100, which would be fantastic.
It's a bargain.
Really, a bargain. $150 for a car. But so to give you a sense, what in the world, 33 years later, is not 10% less expensive? That would be a miracle. It would be a miracle if it was the same price or 10% less. But how about 10% of the price, 90% less? And that's what CoQ10 is today. So it's gone from being a product that was a few dollars a capsule to being a product that's a few pennies a capsule. And that's incredibly exciting because it's no less beneficial today. It's even more science and research saying how beneficial it is, but it's so incredibly affordable.
And just to put that in perspective, if you look at the 600 caps, that would normally be $399.90, so basically $400. Our price today is $169.90 on 5 Flex. You save $230. Now here's the other thing, which astonishes me. If you choose to go with 1,000 IU of D3 or 2,000, look, and Andrew said, basically it's free and you can see it here. For the D3 included in your CoQ10, the value of that would be for the 600, $507. The price is exactly the same at $169.90, and that has to be a record savings of $330. I've never seen it before.
And if you really did the math, so if you deduct the vitamin D, obviously it's now free, you deduct the vitamin D, and we'll use the large size. That would be about $100 for 600 capsules of 1,000 IU vitamin D3, or you could choose 2,000 IU vitamin D3. But also remember, you're getting 300 milligrams of our non-acidic vitamin C. 600 capsules of that would be about probably $50. Also, our full B complex, just look at the B12, our special, unique, protected B12, natural methylcobalamin that you can't find in any other product protected as ours is. That would be for 600 capsules. That would probably be around $50, $60, $70. So when you start doing the math, essentially, this ingredient that used to be the most expensive ingredient I offered is free. So if you really do the math, because just on that large size, that's $169 today. And mind you, that's 600 capsules. At 1 capsule per day, that's lasting you a year and roughly, what is that, 8 months?
Right.
A year and 8 months. If you're sharing it with someone else, it lasts you almost a year. So it's an absolute bargain. What you could also do, if you take 2 capsules of this a day, but you take 2,000 IU vitamin D3, you get the one that's 1,000 IU. So you get the proper level of vitamin D3 on a daily basis. But the vitamin D3, it's completely free. We didn't, the price is the same for the CoQ10 on its own or the choice of with 1,000 or 2,000 IU vitamin D3. It's a question people are asking because it doesn't seem to make sense, but it does. I didn't do a vitamin D3 today special, and folks had said, well, did you ever do a vitamin D3 today special? If you go back 2 years ago in October, the first Today Special visit in October was CoQ10. The second was vitamin D3. So basically, we have given away that vitamin D3. Standalone, separate vitamin D3 was among my most popular products. But since we introduced this product, it's become less popular because CoQ10 is my most popular product, and now folks are getting vitamin D for free. It sounds like a bad business decision, but it's a really great decision for you.
Well, it just makes sense. It is a wonderful, wonderful bonus, and that's why we've already had over 26,000 people say yes in just the launch presentation, which is astonishing. If you're waking up today and you don't have that pep in your step, or you feel a little lethargic, or you feel hesitant about what you're going to do today, or you feel like you don't have the energy, or your grandchildren are coming over, or you are really heading out to run some errands, but you just can't be bothered, folks, I want you to think about what Andrew's going to share in the next half hour, because CoQ10 is a wonderful, natural way of giving you back that zest for life, giving you back that vitality, giving you back that energy. And it's funny because when I'm out here with Andrew, something takes over. Compared to any other show that we do, I get excited about showing off, because everything to do with Andrew's products is the best. It is unrivaled. Andrew, whichever way you look at it, you cannot buy better.
Well, if you look at us in terms of the purity of our products, all of our products, I moved my company. Originally, when I founded my company, I founded it, and it's hard to say this number, 38 years ago in Santa Monica, California. Wow. We moved to Henderson, Nevada about 21 years ago, just outside Las Vegas. We moved there 21 years ago because the low humidity, the dryness allowed us to make our products 100% pure. Other companies, when they make their products, they had to put binders and fillers and lubricants and flowing agents and excipients to make the product capable of being manufactured. We had to move to an environment that favored 100% purity. That's what we do. So our products are 100% pure, also made entirely using solar energy. I hear folks talking about, solar panels, they really don't work. They're not that efficient. Well, then it would be a mystery to me how we've been able to manufacture our products for over 20 years without receiving a power bill, which makes those products even more affordable to you. So not just environmentally sound, even if you don't care about the environment, more economical, because we're not paying for power. That power from the sun is free. So also socially responsible. We are socially responsible. Every bottle of vitamins that we sell, we give away 3 bottles now of prenatal vitamins to needy mothers around the world. And many folks say, well, we need to take care of mothers right here in America. 1/4 of all those vitamins we give away, those prenatal vitamins, go to mothers right here in America. So you can get a sense of how responsible we are in terms of the science of a product. Yes, 33 years ago, I was the first person to bring CoQ10 to America. It's now become among the most popular supplement ingredients. 33 years ago, it was clear and it was apparent to me the importance of this ingredient. So I sought it out, I found it, and I made it available to so many of you who are still getting it from me today. And I read those reviews of folks who've watched me on TV before I was on HSN, who've been getting my products for several decades. And that's the kind of faith you can place in my products, that I don't monitor marketing and merchandising information. What I monitor is the science, and the science is what drives all the products we make. And that's why, unlike typical CoQ10 products, our products are pure. They also deliver the B-complex vitamins that are essential for the efficacy of coenzyme Q10. If you understand the workings of your cells and you understand the deficiencies and insufficiencies that exist in the American population, you know that delivering only CoQ10 is delivering a disservice. Even if it's the best CoQ10 in the world, you're not going to be delivering benefits to most of those using that product. So that's behind the comprehensive nature of this product. I've had 33 years to evolve this product to what it has become today. And that's why if you look at the reviews online, there's not a few reviews. There's a few thousand reviews. And not 30, 40, 50% of those reviews are 5-star, which would be good. But well over 80% are 5-star reviews, and about 95 to 96% are positive reviews. That's what happens when someone understands a product as well as my company does and has been doing it for 33 years.
So many times in life when we make a buying decision, we are taking a chance and a risk. We hear what people say, we watch the advertisements, we read the magazine articles, but we know we're taking a risk. We don't necessarily know that we're going to get an amazing result. So when we say 3,000 reviews, compared to a normal product on HSN, an average product, there's 20 reviews. To take those 3,000 reviews and to say that basically all of them are 5 stars, it removes that barrier, it removes that risk, it removes the doubt. If you are watching and you want more vitality, more energy, you want to be able to live life to its fullest, this works. And the evidence, Andrew, as you say, it's right there.
Well, even if all you wanted to do invest in vitamin D or B12, I can show you charts here that talks about the most common deficiency and insufficiency in the American population are vitamin D and B12. Vitamin D to the tune of 80 to 100% in populations that aren't supplementing it. B12 right around the same. So just those two, without even looking at the incredible benefits and opportunity that coenzyme Q10 represents. And again, this product wouldn't be my most popular product after doing this, what I've been doing all these years on television. And if you just look at, say, reviews typically, and I was talking about this the other day, that my goddaughter and I were talking, that people tend to typically review products that they don't like.
It's true.
They're not as apt to give a review for something they really liked. And the reason why I believe my products have so many reviews and such positive reviews, specifically because of surprise.
Yeah.
I think that when you get a product, it's sort of reviewing something is generally an emotional decision. You really didn't like it, you didn't enjoy it, you're a little upset about it, so you review it. Or the experience wasn't good, so you review it. Or emotionally, if something really surprised you, if it really performed in a way that's unexpected. And when it comes to vitamins, the most common thing you hear about vitamins, not even that they didn't work, but that they were unpleasant. They were hard to swallow. They upset your stomach. Again, that goes to formulation. When you make a pure product, as I do, the risk of that goes away. When you put it in ultrafine powder in a capsule, the risk is eliminated. I'll open a capsule here. So again, all of the ingredients, and another common question, the CoQ10, the vitamin C, the B12, the B complex, the vitamin D, multiple capsules, right? You have to take 5 or 6 capsules to get that. No, 1 capsule. No additives, 100% pure. So that ultrafine powder, that beautiful yellow color, that's the natural color of coenzyme Q10. It's almost, it was just I guess a great marketing decision by the guy upstairs, that if you want something that you associate with health and energy and vitality, that's like the bright yellow color almost of the sun.
It is.
So there was a brilliant marketing decision made hundreds of thousands or millions of years ago. So again, it's 100% pure. That yellow color is just the natural color of CoQ10. We add nothing to the product. And because there's nothing else in that small, easy to swallow capsule except the beneficial ingredients you take. I mean, some vitamin supplements are literally 99% additives. If you take your typical biotin product, a hair, skin, and nail type product, many of those are 90, 95%, 98% additives. It's remarkable. My products are 100% active ingredients, 100% beneficial ingredients. That's why that 1 capsule, when you're looking at that 600 capsule supply, you don't have to do the math saying 5 capsules a day, what does that last 3 or 4 months? No, 600 capsules, if you take 1 capsule a day, that's lasting you 600 days. So when you do the math on that, I was at a smoothie place the other day, and a smoothie was a little bit more than $6.
Right.
And that coffee place, you can get a coffee drink for about $5.
Sure.
That's going to give you almost a month of CoQ10. That 1 coffee beverage, that 1 smoothie beverage, almost a month of CoQ10. Used to be, it would be 2 days of CoQ10.
Right.
But today, almost a month of CoQ10. Oh, and by the way, that's a month of vitamin C and a month of full B complex, a month of our B12, and also today, because it's free, a month of vitamin D, all in 1 small, easy to swallow capsule that will never upset your stomach.
And let me take you through those pricing charts again, because these are through the roof amazing. As an opportunity that's a 1 day only, if you just want to try it, please be our guest, the 50 capsule.
By the way, the large sizes, we're already going to start filling the large size. The 600 capsule with 2,000 IU vitamin D3 is already almost running out. But again, because we manufacture everything, we always hold back capsules to kind of balance things out as the day progresses. we just don't expect it to be in the, in the beginning of the day. That's usually the evening. So we are way ahead of schedule here.
So basically, if you're looking at this saying, well, this makes a lot of sense because I'm saving over $338, obviously order sooner rather than later. We're not running out of these sizes, but this size, which represents their best value, normally would be $507. The price today is $169.90. You save $338. So ask about the larger size. Remember, you can choose 1,000 IU of D3, that's vitamin D3, or 2,000 IU, or you can choose just to go with the classic CoQ10. Still, the savings are huge. The vitamin D3 is free. There is no price difference. So for my money, I would go for the vitamin D3 as an addition because it makes a lot of sense. I think, there's a lot of us out there who are already perhaps taking supplements, or maybe you're just channel surfing today and you've been on a CoQ10 product. It's never an easy thing to hear when somebody says, listen, this one's better than the one that you're taking. Because a lot of us, we're so used to being in a habit or in a routine, or we've trusted a brand for a long time. And Andrew, a lot of us, by the fact of human nature, we are very trusting, and it's disappointing when we realize that maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Well, I think what's interesting about vitamins, I think most people, vitamins tend to be a revolving door. You change vitamins like you change your socks. And hopefully that means frequently.
I was going to say.
But when you read the reviews on my products, you read the reviews and it's talking about, I've been taking it since you first appeared on QVC, for as long as you've been at HSN. So we're talking 21 years, 27 years. I've read reviews that we used to have little vitamin stores in Santa Monica before we moved to Nevada.
Gosh.
That's going back well over 30 years.
Wow.
So I've been doing this for 38 years, which I read that in my blog post. I go, that's got to be a mistake. I was wrong. And then, yes, I've been doing this for 38 years. But I started as a small child.
A 16-year-old, yeah.
As an 11-year-old. Don't even do the math about what that means about my age. But again, and talking about age and talking about aging gracefully, I think the only thing we can do as human beings, first of all, we want to live as long as possible, of course. So as much as we might complain about aging, we want to live as long as possible. But as long as we're doing everything we can to live as long as possible, aging process is going to wreak havoc on us. It's just the way it is. So we want to do as much as we can to preserve those youthful qualities of life, to be more mobile, to be able to move around easier, to think more clearly, to have more energy. That's pretty much what defines youthful vitality, is energy. And what's fascinating, there was a chart, and everyone, there was reaction just among my friends when I read this chart last night. And I've had this chart for probably at least a year, because I remember reading the journal article, and I never really showed it until last night, and it got an interesting response, because there's a broad amount of research that looks at CoQ10 and different kinds of living organisms, and looks at lifespan.
Okay.
And this is what they found.
I'm intrigued.
It's fascinating. Current neurovascular research. It was reported that animals supplemented on coenzyme Q10 may reach a significantly longer mean lifespan. That really basically means average lifespan, 11.7% higher, a significantly higher maximum lifespan, 24% higher, and increased learning capacity than non-supplemented animals, suggesting that a long-term supplementation with a small dosage of CoQ10 may represent and this is where I disagree, those sort of statements, it's not a good anti-aging therapy. It sounds like a great anti-aging therapy. And what's wonderful, it's not a drug, it's not a medicine. The only thing you have to worry about when you take it are all the other benefits I can speak to, whether it's cardiovascular function, heart function, whether it's neurological function, brain function, whether it's going to be energy level and your ability to produce energy, recover from fatigue and exercise and things like that, which I read a chart last night that talked about its role in athletic performance. my idea behind that wasn't to emphasize, well, if you're an athlete, this is going to help your performance. We're all athletes. We're all performing every single day. The same exact physical and energetic implications of that research for athletes are the same exact implications when we're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, had a rough day, and we don't want to get up from the sofa and go to the kitchen or go to the movies or go out and do something with our kids or our grandkids, whatever it might be. It's the exact same thing. Optimum performance in an athlete is the same as optimum living as we get older. And CoQ10 has research in both domains that demonstrate its incredible impact.
I think for a lot of us, what happens typically is that we feel tired, so we reach for a coffee and then another coffee and then another coffee. There's a lot of us that take these little tiny shots of energy that tell you that they're gonna keep you going for another 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. There's a lot of us that are looking for solutions to feel more alert, to feel more alive, to feel like, okay, I can cope with what the day is gonna throw at me. There is a better, more natural, more effective way to do it, and it's with CoQ10. This is the secret. This is the one that's gonna give you that real surge of strength and passion and attitude. This is the one that's gonna get you through the day and make you smile all the way. And obviously when Andrew talks about introducing it to the United States of America, he is the pioneer of this in this country. His CoQ10 can go head to head with any other CoQ10 product in America today and come out on top. When you compare ingredient for ingredient, when you compare quality and manufacturing, everything, there is no comparison. Andrew has a few today's specials per year. This is his biggest. It's his most beloved. It's his most adored because it's having a positive impact on millions of people's lives. And it can be you as well. So a couple of quick things. Obviously, a lot of you are taking advantage of the larger 600 caps because you're saving like $300, $400, $500.
But even the 400 caps, that'll last a year.
And you can go for that one. That's on FlexPay as well. Andrew, the one thing that I'm sure you talked about last night, but every product on HSN right now benefits from an extended return policy. So what I would ask you is to try Andrew's CoQ10 through October and through November and through December and through January. And if by January 31st you've not found that this has had a tremendous impact on your quality of life, as Andrew would say, please return it for a refund of the purchase price, but you don't know until you do try it.
Right. Well, and that's, again, one of the more common threads we see in the reviews is that if I had, because they maybe watched me talk about this for years and years and years, if I knew it was going to work this well, I would have tried it sooner. And again, normally you have nothing to lose because we always have a 30-day money-back guarantee. HSN's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So you can count on us to always stand behind that guarantee. But this time of year, when we get to take advantage of holiday shopping season, so you get more than 100 days. So if you got the 100 capsule supply, that will last, and they all come with that money-back guarantee, but you get the 100 capsule supply, you have an opportunity to see the benefits. And of course, in a year, we will do a Today Special like this again. So it's an opportunity. Once a year, this is our opportunity because we manufacture everything. As I said last night, the fact that we manufacture our products, the fact that we have been for 33 years the loudest voice supporting the use of CoQ10, and for probably the first 15 plus years, I felt like a little whisper in the wilderness because no one else was out there talking about CoQ10 except for me. And today I feel it's back to the same thing. Everyone's now benefiting from the recognition that CoQ10 has received, but no one else is investing in communicating its importance and communicating its benefits, and also in making a product that's ensuring you're going to get the benefits of CoQ10, which means that product must be comprehensive. But what I was going to do a second ago, we had this chart here that quickly talked about the increase in lifespan in animals that were supplemented with CoQ10, both average lifespan and maximum lifespan. But I think what's important to also recognize, and I have a couple of dozen charts that basically reiterate the same point, and this is a journal called Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition, that the human body biosynthesizes CoQ10. We can make a little bit of CoQ10. As we get older, if we're under stress, that goes dramatically. But as it says here, but its endogenous tissue levels drop progressively with increasing age. And that's not when you get to 80 or 90 years of age. That's once you start hitting around, like most things, around 30 or 35, CoQ10 levels steadily decrease. They decrease before based upon stress, if you smoke cigarettes, if you consume certain medications and drugs, which, again, most people don't realize some of the most common drugs we take, and drugs for heart health, where the highest concentration in our body of CoQ10 is found in the heart because of its critical role in keeping that cardiac muscle, that heart muscle, energetically efficient and energetically at optimum functioning. It's absolutely critical for our health that our heart functions optimally and can contract and beat adequately. That's something that must occur every single moment of our lives. But if you're taking cholesterol-lowering statin drugs, ostensibly for heart health, guess what? That significantly, dramatically reduces CoQ10 levels. If you introduce CoQ10 when you take statin drugs, you lower the risk of side effects from those statin drugs. Also, if you're taking beta blockers, also many folks take them for cardiac rhythm issues, also for blood pressure. If you take diuretics, again, many people take them relating to cardiac-related issues. So many things that affect our heart health in terms of medications that we're trying to support our health also undermine the functioning of the heart by reducing CoQ10 levels. Bisphosphonates, a class of drugs that are taking for osteoporosis, osteopenia, for the health of our skeleton, also lower CoQ10 levels. So most of the medications we take, because of their impact on our liver and the processes going on in our liver, affects CoQ10 levels because CoQ10 is principally synthesized where? In our liver. So again, most of these medications that we're following our doctor's guidance and taking them for our good health, unfortunately, one of the side effects that we don't really pay attention to, we pay attention to side effects like fatigue or stomach upset or headaches, whatever it might be, body aches, but fatigue. CoQ10 is the molecule that's singularly responsible for energy production in our body. If a drug or medication impacted CoQ10 levels, wouldn't you expect that impact to relate to fatigue? So if we really look at what's beneath those larger, say, side effects, the larger implications of those medications, then I think we understand that CoQ10 is an important ingredient. It just functions exactly like a vitamin. It's not a drug, it's not a medicine. Show it to your doctor. Your doctor's going to be familiar with this ingredient, because if your doctor's familiar with how our cells produce energy, your doctor must know about the importance of CoQ10. Cardiologists today do. I'd say most doctors prescribing statin drugs or even beta blockers, most antidepressants, they know that these drugs have implications for CoQ10 levels. And again, if we think of something like depression. Depression obviously is a more serious issue than just energy, but again, energy affects our attitude, our sense of well-being. So again, if these medications are affecting CoQ10 levels and affecting our ability to produce energy, it's just common sense to ensure that we have adequate levels of these nutrients when we're taking those medications.
Well, we only have about 15 minutes left, and I would love if you are maybe with your computer or you're maybe watching us on a tablet, definitely read some of the reviews. It will give you such a wonderful feeling of excitement and confidence about this amazing today's special. Just one last recap on the opportunity in terms of the pricing. You can choose CoQ10 by itself, or with 1,000 IU of D3, or with 2,000 IUs of D3. If you choose just the CoQ10, then obviously your HSN pricing versus the today's special pricing is dramatically different today. It's the best pricing of the year. Obviously, you heard Andrew talk about this, specifically when it came to the addition of D3. These larger sizes are more limited than the others, and the savings are obviously really very, very substantial.
And so you have a choice. You get our best value ever on CoQ10, or you get our best value on CoQ10 plus free 1,000 IU vitamin D3. That's per capsule again, or free 2,000 IU. It's your choice. And so as much as we keep reading about the importance of supplementing vitamin D3, and again, you don't have to take mega doses of vitamin D3. No one needs to start taking 10,000 IU vitamin D3, which I read some people talking about. What I say is a minimum of 1,000, and typically between 2,000 and 4,000 are all you're going to need. So when your doctor gives you a vitamin D blood test, you're going to have perfect levels. So when you look at our CoQ10 with the 1,000 or 2,000, if you take a separate multivitamin, you'll be right in that perfect range that I was talking about, vitamin D3 levels when you get a blood test. I was going to read a couple of reviews. First, I just was going to read this one chart, because this one chart sums up, again, this is not a drug, it's not a medicine, but when you give your body something that affects so many systems, and it affects the energetics of those systems, because remember, again, energy isn't something that you feel. Energy is something that each and every one of the cells in your body, those cells are responsible for producing their own energy. They can't rely on any adjacent cell. So each one of the trillions of cells in your body has to have its own independent power supply, its own independent power source. When those cells all behave better, can behave better in terms of their energetics, the arteries and blood vessels in your body function better. They all work in concert better. All the organs and systems in your body function better. So it's not surprising that when all those systemic energetics work better, not only do you feel like you have more energy, but more importantly, your body works better. And if you look at this chart, your body works better in terms of the things that define our good health. And that's our, as I say, the four big numbers we should all pay attention to. And blood pressure and blood sugar. Those are the two that we need to follow your doctor's instructions, take your blood pressure medication, your blood, whatever you need to do, whether it's losing weight, do the things necessary to have healthy blood pressure levels and healthy blood sugar levels. You don't want to move through life there. Even more important than cholesterol levels and triglyceride levels. But to kind of underscore how CoQ10 impacts our body on so many different levels, it's a tool that can help support us in keeping those numbers in that normal range. We do a whole range of things, hopefully in terms of diet, in terms of lifestyle, perhaps in terms of medications, we have to take to keep those numbers in the normal range. And if every one of us went through life with those numbers in the normal range, the health of our society would dramatically improve. So CoQ10 is just this wonderful natural tool, and vitamin D and the B complex vitamins also conspire in a positive way to support CoQ10 in achieving those benefits. So even if CoQ10 can have an impact of just a couple of points on blood pressure, or just a tenth of a point or two on A1C, on say our blood sugar levels, even if it's just those subtle impacts statistically, as a large population, that is an enormous impact on our collective health. And again, where CoQ10, I think where most of us fall in love with CoQ10, aren't the things it's doing systemically within our body, but how it makes us feel on a daily basis, how it helps us live the kinds of lives we maybe lost touch with. Because I think I have some charts here that talk about when folks go to see their doctor, the most common presenting complaint, the 7th most common presenting complaint is fatigue. And what I said last night when I talked about that, I suspect if we didn't all expect, as we get older, living stressful, busy lives, if we didn't expect to be tired, it would probably be the top 2 complaints, fatigue. But I think that as we get older, we just expect to be more tired this year than we were last year or 5 or 10 years ago. It's just part of getting older. You know, I'm a lot older than I was. And I feel as though I have more energy today, more enthusiasm today than 40 years ago. And I was pretty enthusiastic 40 years ago. So I think to the extent we do the right things, it's remarkable how well our body responds and how well we get to enjoy our lives.
I mean, Andrew is the ultimate poster child for it. Truly, you can see that energy is always there. The truth is, it will work for you. And if you are tired and you are fatigued and you feel lethargic and you don't have that energy, everything else is affected. Nothing is the way it should be. You have to try this. It is an investment for you and for the ones that you love around you, because this will do wonders for you, and in return, it will of course affect your relationships with those that you love. It's an amazing product, and even though we're coming to the end of the presentation, the chance to be able to order it at the best pricing ever. And even if you go back 30 years when Andrew started this, the pricing is lower today than it's ever been. I think the impact is when we've said that the vitamin D3 is free. I mean, it is free. If you choose to go for the vitamin D3 included, it is free, 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 free. I can say that word a million times because it is. There is no extra charge for it. And I think that's why a lot of people have raced to get that one.
No, and I think it's caused a little bit of confusion, because even if the versions with vitamin D were 10 or 20, depending on their size, or $30 or $40 more, it would still be a bargain. But again, we didn't do a Today Special this year for vitamin D. It used to be among our most popular Today Specials, our most popular product, but now, because our most popular product, CoQ10, once a year, we did this for the first time last year, it contains vitamin D3. Vitamin D separately isn't as popular, because now you're getting the vitamin D for free. So as I said before, it's a great decision for you. It might not be a great business decision for me, but it's okay. It's a great thing. This is a wonderful anniversary event, and it's just exciting to be able to do this, notwithstanding the fact that my vitamin D becomes less popular. You're getting vitamin D now with a product that truly is a transformational product, and that's what I've said for a long time about this product. And it's not me saying you need to take it. I've always said, we make the best CoQ10 in the world, the most effective CoQ10 in the world, but if you're not getting mine, it's so important you need to get someone's. And vitamin D, you need to have a blood test on vitamin D, know your levels. Virtually everyone who isn't supplementing vitamin D will show up as having insufficient levels of vitamin D and needing to supplement. So when you look at this product, B12, one of the most common deficiencies and insufficiencies in our country, you get the only form of B12 that I can assure you orally works. You don't need a shot. So when you look at this product, this isn't something that I'm saying you have to get or you must get my product. These are just all ingredients that are scientifically established as essential, that we need them, that unfortunately they're not available in our diet. And when you get them, you notice a difference, you feel a difference, and it's a positive difference. You could read the reviews on this product. There's not a few dozen great reviews. There's a few thousand great reviews, and it's not 30, 40, 50% of the reviews are great. How about 95% of the reviews are great? How about over 80% are perfect 5-star reviews? So that's, I think, a vote of confidence, and that's why I'm passionate about this product, because it makes a profound difference. And the more challenged our lives that we lead, the more demanding those lives, it's not where you say, it's not going to make a difference for me. No, the greater the challenge, that's where CoQ10, that's where these ingredients are at their very best.
There is no downside to this, only an upside, and there's no side effects, and there's no worries about what we're consuming. It's all pure, it's additive free, it's filler free, there's no artificial anything. So there's no downside. All you're going to experience is an upside in energy, in feeling, in just getting through our daily lives. And if that didn't convince you, Andrew read something a little earlier, which really, I think, resonated with a lot of folks. Some of the research that's been done, talking about over the years, I'll let Andrew talk about it in a bit, but helping to extend life. I mean, that's, what more do we want? We all want to live longer. If there was one ultimate selling point, it would be to have a product that helps you live a longer, more fulfilled, healthier, more energetic, more vibrant, more exciting life. And CoQ10 can do it. I know I'm preaching to the converted if you're an Andrew Lessman fan and you've been shopping with Andrew from QVC to HSN over the past years, but I do appreciate that on this Sunday morning there are those folks that are channel surfing and wondering, well, I have my own vitamins, I buy it from the supplement store, they can't be any different. You have no idea. Folks, as I stand here today, the greatest vitamins in the world are in my hand. I mean it. side by side, do some research on Andrew Lessman, the best of the best of the best. So if you take a CoQ10 product, I encourage you to switch out to Andrew's. And if you don't take a CoQ10 product, I encourage you to think about it. Whether you are setting forward on a new job, maybe you're at college, maybe you're working hard, maybe you've got new children at home, maybe you've got grandchildren at home. Whatever's going on in your life, CoQ10 can have a big difference.
Maybe you're just dealing with the gnawing stress of the incessant news. And I say this no matter...
Drains you.
I have friends of all political aisles and things like that, and no matter which side you're on, the way news presents to us now, it's like we're bathed in it. I remember when I was a kid, you got a newspaper and you watched the nightly news, and it was very relaxed. It wasn't, the news didn't attack you, and it seems like the news nowadays attacks us. So this is an opportunity, again, to give your body sort of what it needs to fight back. This is where the defenses lie. Our body's ability to produce energy is at the very core of how well any one of the cells, all of our cells and our organs and systems function. What I'm frequently asked is CoQ10 something that is abundant in our diet? And unfortunately, the answer is no, especially the way we eat nowadays. The highest concentration of CoQ10, and it gives us insight into the highest concentrations in our own body. It's in our most vital organs. So the highest concentrations of CoQ10 is going to be in a pig's heart, a chicken's heart, a chicken's liver, a cow's heart, beef liver. Again, those are the highest concentrations by far. And then, because again, CoQ10 is necessary for energy. So the most important organs rely on highest levels of energy. Of course, CoQ10 levels are found at the highest levels. The same thing when we start looking at the muscles, the shoulder of a cow. That cow shoulder has to be very strong. Does a cow weigh at least more than 1,000 pounds?
Yeah, exactly.
And so again, we see the muscles again, because CoQ10 is essential for energy production muscles. But unfortunately, even those, we're looking at the amount of calories of a pork heart you'd have to eat to equal 1 capsule is over 2 pounds of pork heart. So typical servings, say if you had 4 ounces of pork shoulder or a chicken thigh, 4 ounces, you're getting about 1% of the CoQ10 in this capsule. So again, the dietary availability of CoQ10 is virtually insignificant. So CoQ10, if it's something that, as we know, as we get older, the levels decrease. We know, and I have charts I can show you, that we were talking about fatigue as a presenting symptom when people see their doctor. But if we look at fatigue and we analyze the CoQ10 levels of people who have good energy and people who are fatigued, and we have quotes from these clinical studies, we find those folks who are fatigued, guess what? They typically have significantly lower levels of CoQ10 than people who are energetically feeling better. So again, CoQ10, it's inescapable. We can't produce energy without it. The energy, and I always say when you look at an energy product, if you have caffeine from a cup of coffee, or those little energy bottles or hits, those are neurostimulators, the ingredients that are present in there. They stimulate your nervous system. They are not allowing your cells to more efficiently produce energy. It's a neurological effect. That's what we feel. The way I look at energy on a more healthy basis, a more long-term basis, each and every one, as I said before, each and every one of our cells is responsible for its own energy. Our body is not a distributed energy system. There's not a power plant in our body. Our heart pumps blood, which contains oxygen and nutrients. It doesn't pump energy. Each cell has to make their own energy. CoQ10 is at the center of that process in trillions of individual cells. So if you wanted to make an energy product that was going to be the most common sense, logical, and effective energy product, what would you do? You would take an ingredient that has been established to decrease as we get older. So our CoQ10 levels decrease as we get older, but CoQ10 is indispensable in every one of those cells for producing energy. So what a simple, logical way to give us greater potential for producing energy as we get older, to make sure we supplement to deliver those more youthful levels of CoQ10, and in so doing, allow all of those trillions of cells to produce, even if it's just a tiny bit more energy, a tiny bit more efficiently. When you're talking about the collective effect, impact of trillions of cells, Now that's a logical energy product.
As we wrap this up, let me show you the options in terms of what you can order today. And to really show it in black and white, here is the CoQ10 standalone by itself, available in the 50, the 100, the 200, the 400, or the 600. Just to use the 600 as an example, the retail price on the 600, the regular price is $399.90. If you order it today, it's $169.90, which saves you $230. If you choose to go for CoQ10 with vitamin D3, you'll see here again 600 caps. Now, because you're adding vitamin D3, the normal price is up to $507.
Well, the good example here, if you look at the 200 capsule, if you just pull the chart all the way away, if you look at the 200 capsule, the price normally with vitamin D would be $191. That's 360 days a year.
Right.
364 days a year. Well, and if you look at that, that's 200 capsules. Today, it's $169. So you're saving, from that, you're saving $22 and you're getting 3 times the quantity. So, and again, most everyone is getting the CoQ10 with either option of the vitamin D, the 1000 or the 2000 IU. And as I've said before, over the years, if someone has asked me, if you're going to take just 1 capsule a day, say my husband will only take 1 capsule a day, should it be your Essential 1 multivitamin? Should it be your vitamin D, because we all hear how important vitamin D is? Should it be your B12, because many of us are deficient or insufficient in B12? Well, yes, to all of those, but guess what? Or should it be CoQ10, because CoQ10 is so indispensable for energy production? Should it be a separate vitamin C? If you could say yes to all of those, wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, that's what this is. You're getting your 300 milligrams of vitamin C. You're getting a full B complex, the most sophisticated B complex, comprehensive B complex in the world, with our special B12 and our special folate. And you're getting 200 milligrams high potency CoQ10. And you're also getting your choice of vitamin D free. So you don't have to choose if there's just 1 capsule you're going to swallow on a daily basis. This will be the most high impact nutritional supplement that I make, that anyone makes.
Stay right there for yours. Thank you so much for all of your orders. Please leave a review when you've started to take it and let us know what you think. Andrew reads all of them. Remember, you do have an extended return policy, so anything you buy today, you have through the end of January 31st of 2018 to decide if it's right for you. Of course, you can return it for a refund of the purchase price. And Andrew, obviously all of your products, or certainly vast majority, are on special pricing online right now.
Not vast majority, all of them.
Fantastic.
So it's such a vast majority, it's all of them. So for anniversary pricing, we do something special every year this time of year, because it was 21 years ago that I arrived here. It's hard to believe it's 21 years. It just, to me, it just leaves me...
So it was QVC first. Let's walk and talk over that way.
QVC, yes. I was at QVC in, I think it was January of 1991, 90 or 91. Okay. So it was almost, gosh, that would be, I think it was 27 years ago. It was January of 1991. So it's been almost 27 years. And I was there for almost 6 years.
Wow.
And then came to HSN, and it was just, the 6 years at QVC were absolutely incredible, wonderful. So many of you still have followed me since then. And the 21 years here, where HSN has really given me, as did QVC, an opportunity to come up here. And as I said, I'm not a salesman. I want to educate. I want to talk about the science. I want to talk about the experience. And that's what I want to do. If you want the hosts I'm on air with, they can talk about the specifics of the product in terms of selling it. But, and I've been completely supported in that regard, that, and encouraged, in fact, to educate, even when it means that we do online events where we don't offer or sell a thing. We've done shows where we really don't offer or sell a thing. All we do is answer questions. All we do is provide information.
Andrew, respectfully, I say this, but your products do not need selling. They sell them. I mean, they sell themselves.
Well, I said this in my blog. We don't have an advertising budget. We've never had. And I started my company, I had no advertising budget. I invested everything in the equipment to make the products. It wasn't really a great business plan, so you can make products, but it was the perfect example. If you build it, they will come. you know, I made very, very special products, and at the time I made them all myself. I ran all the machines personally, and truly, if you make special products, the products sell themselves, and then word of mouth, and that's why we do these special things every year in October. It's my thank you to everyone, because I wouldn't be here. I can't thank a big advertising budget or anything like that. I can only thank the loyalty and faith of those who've tried our products and shared that with others. That's the key, the reviews, and now the reviews in our more modern times, but before it was just telling a friend.
And that's why we are here today, 21 years later. It's funny, Andrew talks about reviews. This next item, and even though we only have a few moments here, Andrew's Omega product is on the greatest hits. Right out of the gate, if you have wanted to take a fish oil, but you've steered away because you tried something which left a fishy aftertaste, you're not alone. Most of us have had that. Zero, none, nada, no aftertaste whatsoever. This is Andrew's Omega. I'll put that down and ruining the beautiful display. I'll pick this one up. The benefits of Omega are obviously through the roof. If you would like to try Andrew's, it is on anniversary pricing. You can see the pricing down there, under $100 for 360 caps. Best in the world and super concentrated. One of the things that shocked me when Andrew first presented this, when I saw it, was that Andrew's Omega product is actually a smaller capsule than what you'd find out there, but it's more concentrated. There's more in it.
And that's, well, the funny thing is, well, there's more of what you want in it, and less of what you don't want. But what's funny, normally when you say concentrate, you think, uh-oh, it's concentrated, it's gonna upset my stomach, it's gonna be difficult. But to the contrary, when you're more concentrated in the natural form of fatty acids that you want, the EPA and DHA, it's actually milder. When you're not using ethyl esters, when you're not delivering a product that just has a huge volume of fish oil. And what we must remember when we talk about omega-3s in a fish oil product, a lot of times you look at labels and you go to any supermarket, discount store, you'll see labels that will say 1,200 milligrams, 1,500 milligrams omega-3 fish oils. You'd think, wow, there's 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, whatever it says on the label, omega-3s in there. No. Absolutely not. What it is, it contains 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 milligrams of fish oil that probably contains somewhere between 300 and 400 milligrams of omega-3s. What you care about is not how much fish oil is in that capsule. What you care about is how much beneficial omega-3. And here I just have some capsules out on the counter there. And it's almost funny. Those are 4 different brands, all of which contain between 300 and 400 milligrams of omega-3s. Now, that little capsule, oops, it rolled sideways. There we go. That little capsule in front, that's mine. It's about 60% the size, so a little more than half the size. It contains 500 milligrams of omega-3s. So as Adam said, it's more concentrated, but it's more mild. So more concentrated, more natural, more mild. And it has no contaminants, and it will not have a fishy aftertaste. And it's also, again, when you're talking about billions and billions and billions of capsules of omega-3s being consumed daily, when you're looking at those, we're still looking at those capsules there. It's a fascinating image. So,
I'm mesmerized by Andrew, mesmerized.
Mesmerized by those capsules. But when you're talking about the levels of omega-3s that are being consumed around the world, so probably hundreds of billions of capsules, that can have an impact on our fish and our fisheries. So again, this is something I decided a number of years ago, that we were only going to use omega-3s that, first of all, contaminant-free, but only going to use omega-3 fish oil sources that were independently, third-party, environmentally certified to be fished only during the proper time of year and in a fashion that wasn't negative, wasn't adverse to our environment. So not only are you assured of getting something that's pure and natural, easy on your stomach and no fishy aftertaste, but you don't have to worry about it being an assault on our environment. And that's something that, of course, the way we go about doing everything, we do it responsibly. So if you want the finest omega-3s in terms of delivering its benefit, you could simply read the reviews. I could talk about the science as I'm briefly doing here, but the reviews on products that are usually what I say, the omega-3 product is the vitamin everybody loves to hate.
Yep.
It's hard to swallow. These are enormous capsules, typically. They will have a fishy aftertaste, a fishy repeat. To many people, they make them nauseous and sick to their stomach. Mine, never. If you look through the thousands of reviews on this product, you're going to constantly read, again, I talk about the reason why people leave reviews. Usually they read reviews if it's something that they're emotionally touched by. Usually it's a product that they don't like. With mine, it's a product that surprises them. That a lot of people get this product figuring, we'll show that guy that on my stomach, I can't tolerate any of these things. And that's what you read in the reviews, that I've never been able to take an omega-3 product before. This is different. That I've never taken an omega-3 where I didn't taste fish. This is different. This is the first time I've ever been able to take an omega-3. My doctor had recommended for years and years and years that I take these omega-3s, and this is the first time I've ever been able to do so. You can read those things not a few times, but a few hundreds of times in the reviews. So I'm very proud that this is a product that delivers the benefits that so many doctors are recommending people use, but unfortunately, the doctors themselves can't make a product that their patient's going to love, so their patient ends up, giving up. And again, if you don't use a product, it can't benefit you. This is an omega-3 that, it's funny to use these words, that we literally get love letters to our company. Those reviews read like love letters to our company.
All the things that you never liked about that fish oil or that omega-3 product, imagine they never existed. No upset stomach, no fishy aftertaste, none. Andrew's product is the ultimate omega-3. We'd love for you to call on in and order yours again to try it out. You've got a massive money-back guarantee through January 31st of 2018. Here are the options. All of Andrew's products are on anniversary pricing. So if you're looking for a specific vitamin or supplement, go online at hsn.com to celebrate Andrew's 21st anniversary. 30 caps is normally $21.90. Today it's only $14.90. You save 7. 60 normally $36. Today 24. You save 12. 180 normally 89. My hands are all over the place. 89. You save $30 and you get it onto FlexPay. The 360 capsules is normally $159. Today it's $99.90 and you save 60. Andrew, the one